How often is it that you hear about a new type of crypto? I don't know if I've heard anything about something like that recently, but we have two very talented people who are deep into the crypto space. They're about to tell you about that new kind of crypto. Stay with us. This is the Swarm Unplugged podcast, where we introduce you to the best and the brightest in the crypto universe. With thousands of ideas to learn from people in all areas of crypto, we want to explore as many as possible. I'm Christopher Knight, so let's get started. You know, the crypto world is ever changing, and it's a special world because you never know what you're going to get, just like a box of chocolates. But you always look for the best piece of chocolate. And that's what you have to do in the crypto. And so we constantly want to bring you people who offer you that slice that's the most delicious and has the best taste and the most direction and will fill your hunger for the crypto world. To help me out to work with two of our special guests, I have my great co-host, Rick Scherer. Hello, Rick.
Well, good afternoon, Christopher. And how are you on this bright and sunny afternoon here in sunny Staten, Italy?
Well, you're in sunny dig out the snow country right now. So I don't
Yes.
envy you at all. North Carolina, it snows and it's gone in a day. So we're really fortunate about that. That's for darn sure. Have you built a snowman yet? What?
Nah, not this year. This year I sort of didn't even pick up a shovel.
You're going to let it just melt on its own?
No, I've got my son. He's, volunteered. He jumped out there when it was wind chill factor, 2 degrees and asthmatic and all. He just went out there and shoveled the driveway and the apron and everything. So I'm a little bit pleased that he took that task on and said, "Hey, stay inside, Pop. I'll take care of it."
No, it's probably because you threatened him with not being able to eat some of your great cooking that you do.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say that, but I said, "Listen, you either shovel, you're not eating for the next 3
There you go.
days."
See, I knew something was up to motivate him for sure.
Well, hey, I got a question for you.
Okay,
This guy, Tony K. What's going on?
Tony K. Well, Tony K is one of those guys who is very elusive, especially when he is deep in concentration. When I talked to him yesterday, in fact, I actually talked to him this morning. He was in the middle of shoveling snow, making sure that a piece of roofing that blew off in heavy winds they had 2 days ago didn't start leaking through into the building. He had just laid new flooring in and had just replaced all the locks on.
Oh my God.
So I
He's
think
got
you
his
can
hands
tell
full.
he's got his hands full. And it's when I said something about the podcast, he said, "Oh, that's right, it's Wednesday." So you know what he's going through when he doesn't know what day it is, for goodness sakes. But that's all right. He shall return. That is for sure. But in the meantime, we have two great guests, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their community called the Spade community, and with that, a very new concept or a concept they've developed. So let's bring on Stephen and Kira to chat with us about this. Hello, folks.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Well, good, except we're snowed in today.
Really? How much snow fell on your area?
We have a full day of snow still ahead, and it's already 6 inches.
Oh my God, where are you guys located?
Colorado.
Now that's a unique. Do they have even snow plows there?
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, yes.
They have snow plows.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out here. People have their own personal snow plows too, and they plow our sidewalks. It's very nice.
Wow, beautiful. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. What have you got going
That's-
on new with the spades today?
Well, that's just to back up. That's one of the things that Tony K said too. He was supposed to have 3 appointments today. He couldn't really get out and get to them. He was totally just locked in, and they're in Loveland, Colorado. So
Oh,
another
okay, Loveland.
interesting
Yeah.
deal.
I do believe Mother Nature is really pissed off at us. I mean, definitely. We're not treating this earth the way she wants us to, and she's whipping her butt.
For those of us that haven't seen either one of you, even though we were very fortunate to have you on, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, I guess by now, they don't know anything about the Spades community. One of you kind of chime in and give us a quick overview of who and what that is.
I'm going to let Steven do that.
Okay. Well, actually, Rick, what you just said is kind of apropos there, because we do need to treat the earth better. And we have a old economic system, what I would call an industrial age model, where you take from the earth, you make fiat currency, and then either the people or the earth have to pay the bill. And part of the idea of the Spades community is that we want to be able to move into an information age economy where value comes from elements of human creativity. It comes from people being able to do commerce with each other all around the world. NFTs are a great example of that. A lot of the things that Beads are doing is a great example of that. Even for our own site, when we hire developers or graphic artists or things of that nature, some of them are in India, some of them are in Pakistan, in Indonesia, and other places. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And their only resources that they're using up from the earth is a little bit of power to run their computers. And that's a good portion of the idea of the Spades community. We are a charitable community, and we use a blend of both crypto and non-crypto, but yet community currencies, so that everyone in the world has an equal playing field to meet on. They all have a common digital currency that's not a fiat currency. And as they earn from utilizing the system, then if they earn more than they can use in the system, they can cash it out into a cryptocurrency, or they can utilize their earnings, which we call cloud credits, within the system in order to barter with people. So it also acts as a global barter credit.
Okay, Stephen, I'm going to stop you just for a moment, because I want you, instead of describing it, I want you to give us a real world example of if Kara didn't know a thing about it and you gave her something like you're talking about. What's the procedure of what she could do with it? Just give us a real world example.
Okay, actually, I will give you a real world example, because Kira's an author. Actually, let me just show you a couple things, if that's all right.
Certainly.
First, real world.
Well, I can also summarize it in 3 C's. You can
Yeah, go for it.
communicate, you can do commerce, and cryptocurrency. So those 3 combined into one system.
Wow.
Is what the system is about.
That's a good definition, but I still scratching my head. So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can show you.
Yeah. Let me show you this. Okay. I believe this is the right. Yes. All right. If you are logged into the system, I haven't shown you the front screen, but once you log into the system, there are a variety of things that you can do here. It's kind of an internet of everything. And so I've just logged into Kira's account. Now, she actually put something up for sale in the store, a book that she wrote.
Steven, maybe you could just hold on that image and all those icons to show what those icons are.
Yeah, I'll go through those here shortly. But to Chris's question, here's a book that Kira wrote, Creating Life Contracts, and it's for sale for $15. So if she's sharing her book with people, they buy it like they normally would. And Kira's getting paid within our system with cloud credits, which is our form of currency. Now you'll see Kira's name is here. So before you buy something, you can go check Kira out. Here's her profile. And here's something that's kind of unique about us. You get to show your featured project, your skill sets, and even services. So I may come along and say, you know, I need a little extra happiness in my life. Kira is a happiness life coach. And we can then barter on the system for what it is that I need to pay her for the life coaching, or maybe for crypto consulting, or in her case, she's also happens to be a level 3 Reiki master. So if I want to barter with Kira based on her skills, read her book, then I can actually come over to my banking system. And as long as I have some credits, if I don't, I can buy credits, but I can also earn them. Then I can simply send her the credits. Maybe it's going to be 10 credits for a session with Kira. I select her. We do have to be friends for me to send the credits to her. And I come down, and then I can pick Kira and I send her the credits. So this is one way that the system can work, where people can do barter with each other anywhere in the world for services. They can share their services. They can put them in a store. They can put them in an auction. They can offer events and classes if they want to. They can be either free or something that you have to buy a ticket for. Jobs. In essence, it's a mini internet of everything, because we have in mind the developing world to be able to use this, and the unbanked. This is very nice, because for the unbanked, they come along, you get an account here on Spades, it's free, and you immediately get a bank account. So you don't have to go open one. It's already provided to you, along with all the other key elements that you need, such as your profile. You can get there in a variety of ways. We just showed you Kira's profile. And then you have all these other options for earning and doing things within the community, as well as, like Kira said, this is commerce we just talked about. There's communications. You've got your messages. You've got chats. You can chat with an entire group that you might be a part of. So there's multiple ways that you can do that as well. And we will be adding also live chat, voice over communication with a different partner.
Stephen, just a brief introduction, Stephen. Will any of this ever translate over to being able to barter for essentials, such as groceries,
Sure.
anything like that?
Sure. Because I can say that, look, I have vegetables, and Kira has sold a few of her books, and she has cloud credits. And as a result, here, I guess I'll stop the share for the moment here. This is actually a big portion of the system. So maybe, actually Kira does grow an amazing garden each summer. And particularly zucchinis, huge zucchinis. So maybe I have some cloud credits, and I live in the same area with Kira, and she says, yes, I have a garden, I have zucchinis. She can put it on her profile. She can actually put it in the store. There's a variety of places. There's a barter and trade group, because we also offer groups in here. There is one that's just simply for bartering and trading. And I can say, Kira, I would like some of your zucchinis. Those look great. She says, okay, Stephen, there are X number of cloud credits. Just as you saw me before, I go into my bank. I have some cloud credits, or I purchase cloud credits, so I get some, and I transfer them over to her, and she provides me with the zucchini. This is a particularly important part of our overall system, because we give out monthly charitable awards to groups that are actually in places of need, where they open up community centers, or what we call access points. So somebody, for example, in Kinshasa can offer a drumming class, let's say, and I sign up and I pay him cloud credits. Now he has cloud credits. He can now circulate that wealth amongst his community by getting some potatoes or zucchini from his neighbor. All they need is an account, and then that person has cloud credits. They need a dress for their daughter. They move cloud credits over to the dressmaker. They get a dress. This is meant to be a way in which particularly developing world nations can import wealth into their community in a way that it's a private currency and it can't be stolen from them.
Stephen, what are the various ways that one could earn cloud credits aside from actually buying them? And what are the mechanics that are needed to actually buy them?
So when you purchase cloud credits, you can either do it through cryptocurrency. There's just only a few of them right now, such as Tron, because we are an asset of Tron, the Spade's token is. We like that protocol. It's very fast and very inexpensive. Mining fees are generally, less than a quarter, unlike certain other cryptocurrencies, which can be $100 for a transaction, which is kind of ridiculous. So there's a variety of ways that you can earn into it. Like, for example, Scherer has sold a few of her books at $15 a pop. So she earns 14.57 cloud credits. There's a small fee because you can also buy the cloud credits with a credit card, and the merchant processing fees are passed on. The other way you can do it is through a straight barter. Here I have something, someone else on the system wants it, and we have a whole tribe out of Canada that's using this system just for that, so they can barter amongst the members of their tribe. And we also offer people a way to earn into the economy by marketing a special club. We call it the VIP Prosperity Club. And what it does is it shows you there's a group. If you pay, it's 25 bucks to get in. You refer other people. You earn cloud credits. And also what it does is you go in there, and on a weekly basis, we update where all the airdrops are, so that it's a way that people can get free other types of cryptocurrency. And then there's classes. In fact, Kira teaches our crypto for beginners class.
So if somebody falls under the category of unbanked, what would they, it seems that there's a limited way that they can get these cloud credits. So,
all right, I'm going to show you this real quick here. I'm going to come back and do the share because we had that in mind. That's an important consideration. How can someone who has nothing start to earn into an economy, right? So one of the things here is called our VIP Prosperity. You click here, you get in, it shows you your referrals, your commissions. You can transfer the commissions that you've earned. It tells you all the people that are in your group that you can work with because it pays on multiple levels. And then these are marketing pages. So I'm going to go open up a marketing page. This is a normal marketing page. And I've noticed that my computer's being inside of this studio, it slowed it down a little bit. So a person who's starting with nothing can actually come to our prosperity program, where we offer free cryptos, education, or money back guarantee, free giveaways, coupons. But let me come down a little bit because I want you to see this part. Loans for those in need. So if you cannot afford the $25, you simply click here. It takes you to a form, and we give you a no interest loan, which means that now you're part of the prosperity program. You can market this to anyone, anywhere in the world, and start earning. And you do earn on multiple levels so that you can earn more than just your own effort would otherwise allow you to. And it's the only thing here is you start at minus 25 cloud credits. We're giving you the program for free, no interest. And so let's say you referred one person, you've earned 5 cloud credits. They refer 4 people. You've earned an additional 20 cloud credits now. Anything beyond that now is your cloud credits. So we do give those with nothing something to sell that's digital, that they can sell anywhere in the world. And that goes along with our whole concept that the world is moving to a new economic model. Ultimately, I think it will be cryptocurrencies, community currencies. And what we've done is we've blended the two, right? Because our banking system is actually cloud credits, which are not a cryptocurrency. The reason that we do that is not every single transaction requires a blockchain. And when you use a blockchain, you get inherent transaction fees, right? There's time that takes to make the transaction go through. You need to have an exterior wallet. It's just more complicated. So that's part of this whole concept here is let's make cryptocurrency easier and give people an intermittent step, right? You don't need a wallet to come use this system. You don't ever even necessarily have to move into cryptocurrency. But, you know, if the average person referred 10 people over the course of a year to our prosperity program, and I mean each person aggregate, right? I've referred 40 people. Maybe Kira refers 5 people. You refer 2 people. But if the average was just 10, you'd actually wind up earning 55,550 cloud credits, which is the equivalent of 55,550 US dollars. And you'd be able to use those cloud credits to get things from other members, to barter with any group that you might want to put together, or cash it out into the cryptocurrency space. And then you can exchange it for Tron and then any other cryptocurrency that you want to. So this is just part of this process as we move from the industrial age economy to the information age economy. We're kind of right in the middle of it. And what Kira and I found is that a lot of people are scared of cryptocurrency. It's too complicated for them. They try to get into it, but the first thing they run into is, okay, I have to get this complicated wallet. I have to have 12 seeds. I have to keep track of this. I have to give them my driver's license, which the unbanked don't have, right? And in fact, there's millions and millions of unbanked in the United States as well. This isn't just about Africa or South America or you know, the developing world nations. It actually does apply here as well. So
I got to jump in just for a moment. Of course, I'm always fascinated about barter. Okay, it's always fascinated me. But that being said, if you're using the cloud credits and are using them to barter, doesn't it also necessarily demand that there be kind of a closeness to those that barter with each other? In other words, if I were to type into Google, find me a barter companion near Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, so that we can barter and not ship things and move things around the world and so forth. Do you have any way to designate areas for barter?
yes. So there is a barter and trade group within our system. And there's also the ability for people to create groups specifically for their bartering. So let me just come over here real quick. I don't know if you're seeing this because I just see the normals. There we go. Yes. So within the system, you can create a group. Anybody can create a group. It can be public, private, hidden, whichever ones you want. And I should have said this earlier. I want everybody to know, we do not mine anyone's data. We do not sell anyone's data. And as you've seen from what you've seen of the site, there are not ads all over the place. So this is a private system. It's meant to be a public service and a public utility, and it's a utility token. So let me come down here a little bit. You could go into the public barter and trade group. We have communities in Sedona, Arizona that are setting up a Sedona Barter group. So anyone who wants to participate, they just come join the group and they can share within their group what it is that they have that they're willing to barter. This is a private group, Asmin. They're an indigenous nation out of Canada in the Ottawa area, and their entire tribal nation is joining, many of them have already, is joining Spade's community. They have to be a member of that tribal nation because this is a private group, and then they can come in here, and they're using this barter system. And what's really kind of cool is they've organized with the prosperity program. So the group had an account, and then a few people signed up, and that helped fund their major group, and then other people came in under them. So everybody is actually doing this prosperity program and earning credits so that each person in the group has some form of credits to begin with that they can start trading with one another. So really, how do you do it? You create a local group for your community to barter with. You put it onto the platform, and it's all completely integrated with one another. What's kind of neat, I think, also about this is that if there's a group that is utilizing the system for barter, let's say in Sedona, I'm in Colorado, and I go down to Sedona to see my friend and I want to get a massage. Well, if someone's offering a massage on this system, then I can actually pay them there. If I go to Kinshasa, where we have charities that are being set up, in fact, in the groups, there's a lot of charities, and what their whole purpose of working with us is to set up these community centers or access points so that people can utilize this system. Does that help, or does that explain it sufficiently? Or Kira, do you have any input?
No, that was excellent. Actually, you did a great job because specifically that you knew that had to be part of the program, and there it was. Boom! I should have known you knew, of course. Now, as we move forward, Rick, go ahead. I know you've got questions. Go ahead.
Actually, the questions that I had, which were glowing, they were answered like meticulously. So at this point, I just, want to hear more. I love the idea that Christopher questioned from a geo standpoint. It seems that any local group can set up their own, group, if you will. And if there's bartering to be done where they're not looking to ship, then you need to be in that geo area that these people set up from a locale standpoint, which is pretty amazing.
Right. I mean, people can basically set up their own ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that has a lot of advantages for different kinds of communities to create their own internal wealth and individual wealth too.
How big would you say your community is in total?
Right. Jointly with that same question from me, Rick, where are you having influence, whether it be U.S. or anywhere? Same question as Rick, actually.
Yeah. Well, our main memberships are right now in Canada, the United States, Australia are I would say the three largest groups. Of course, all English speaking, but it is starting to grow out in Africa as well. Each month, we let the membership nominate and vote on a charity to receive a charitable award in our tokens. So some of the most recent have been a permaculture center out of Uganda, and the Global Women's Water Initiative, which works all over Africa. And so part of this system, actually, I like those two. There's more, quite a few. But like now the Global Women's Water Initiative can get together with the permaculture guy when they're doing a water project in Uganda, right? Because part of it is food security. So
yeah,
now,
we have some friends that are from Africa, and they're very excited about this because it can help support their communities that are struggling, and there are a lot that are struggling due to either inflation or it's just the climate of their own community. And so having this available to them, and they can do it online, because now a lot of people have phones, no matter where they are, and accessibility. I think that just is the turning point that we have here.
Well,
A great example.
I'm not sure if I heard an answer. I mean, right now, and obviously, this is new and you're growing. How big is your community?
The number of people that are utilizing specifically the system the way it's supposed to be is about 300, which is up a few 100%. It was really in January, so just basically less than 30 days ago, where we said, okay, we're really open. And we were controlling things because we've been beta testing stuff. As Christopher said, I think it was about 3 months ago or so when Christopher interviewed Scherer and I, and we were still finishing up building the system.
Yeah.
And beta testing.
Now it's ready to go.
Right. Mm-hmm. In December, we migrated everything over to dedicated AWS servers. Before that, it was just, let's do the build. And we were actually trying to keep people from coming in with their groups. And it's only been in the last really 10 days that we said to the Asmin Nation, okay, guys, we're going to let you come in as the first big group, because they have 10,000 members of their tribe. And they're all, right now, it's interesting what they're doing, because they're organizing how they come in, where each one is coming in under somebody else as part of that prosperity program. So they're basically making a $25 investment. We do tell them where to get well over $250 in free cryptocurrency. So they get a benefit if they put in the time to go get their, airdrops, which we're telling them where to go get them. But they're organizing themselves. From the $25 that somebody pays for that group, $20 is paid out to other members. So they're very organized, and what they want to do is have their membership all have some cloud credits and utilize it for their bartering system. And actually, like Kira, she can do Reiki remotely. So there's already people I've talked to that are up in Canada that are going to want Kira to do Reiki for her, and they just, basically, it's sort of a barter, because it's not like Kira's getting a microwave oven from them, right? Mm-hmm. She's getting cloud credits, but these credits, we have to do it this way, because whenever you barter, it's never one-to-one, and you've got to understand that the value of a credit in Uganda or in Kinshasa is completely different than what the value of a credit is in the United States, right? Mm-hmm. The economies of it are different. And a good portion of this idea is, how do we help the poor so that they can earn wealth without taking from the environment? Like you were saying earlier, Rick. So we've been saying this for a long time. Instead of going out and shooting a lion and killing it, for its fur and teeth and the other stuff, shoot a lion video. You can turn it into an NFT. You can license it. There's so many things that can be done remotely, from artwork to music to classes, just so much. And that's actually one of the things we're setting up with our neighbor out of Kinshasa, is one of these community centers, so that group of people can import wealth from this community and keep it circulating among their group. That's where real wealth comes in.
Mm-hmm. I've got a question about, I'm sorry, go ahead, Christopher.
Connect the dots now. I know that Rick, you probably want to carry on a little bit of that, but I want to connect the dots in the time we have left here between this and the Spade's token, because they are related. So let's connect the dots between the two.
Okay. So we've provided a hybrid system, as I said earlier. The first step is these cloud credits. They're very easy to understand because they're simply $1. They're useful because they don't fluctuate in value like a cryptocurrency does, right? We've all seen a loss of 50% in the last 30, 45 days. If Kira's selling her book it doesn't make sense if she's selling it for $15 that all of a sudden now it's worth $7.50. Or a month from now, you have to pay $30 for her book because of the currency fluctuations. We want a stable commercial system for people that's reliable. So that's step one. That's your cloud credit. Now, if you earn more cloud credits than you can use, or maybe you just want crypto, you earn cloud credits, you can just promote the prosperity program and earn quite a few, frankly. Then you can cash it out to a cryptocurrency. Now that's your choice, because once you put it into crypto land, there's going to be transaction fees for every transaction. There's going to be a wait. There's going to be the volatility. There's going to be, is there going to be some kind of crazy regulation that comes out? Is Russia going to invade Ukraine and drive their tanks over all the Bitcoin miners that are now in Ukraine that moved from China? What's that going to do to the marketplace, right? Our whole idea is we want a stable information age economic model that everybody can use. Everybody has a bank account. Everyone is an equal playing field, and it lends itself towards greater security, local security, and in particular, food security.
To back up to a statement you made about the ability to cash out, is that all done from within your platform? Or at that point, they need to get a separate wallet, take that token and cash out? And the other question that's tied to that is, on these airdrops, are they all within your platform that will appear, or do they need a separate wallet?
Okay, let me show you this. So you do, of course, if you're going to cash out, you need to have a wallet. So you hit the cash out button. How many do you want to cash out? Now, because we're dealing with a blockchain, there is a blockchain transaction fee because we provide the mining. We have to buy Tron in order to make the transaction. So there's a 2.35% blockchain transaction fee. Current value, I guess it's at 0.0076 now. And total amount of spades that you'll receive in your wallet. You put in your wallet address. You don't have a wallet, see how to get one here, and then you proceed. And you need to confirm that the amount of credits you want to cash out is correct, that your wallet address is correct. If you put in the wrong wallet address, we are not responsible for that taking place. So then you simply submit, and now you have Spades tokens delivered to your Spades wallet, which you can get on Tron Link, you can get it through Trust, you can get it pretty much any wallet that supports Tron, because we are an asset of Tron. Now let me come back over here real quick. I'm going to go into the VIP Prosperity Club so that I can answer your other question. And I want to give everybody something that's watching this, if they want it, something valuable that's kind of like a little bit of a giveaway. And excuse that my computer is moving very slow right now. So in the Prosperity Program, here are current airdrops. So this is the most recent FTRB, Faith Tribe. You have to look and see what is necessary to receive those tokens in that airdrop. We don't handle that because we're just looking who's giving something away for free. We're quite aware that, years ago, Uniswap gave away 400 tokens. At one point, if you had just sat on those, it would have been worth over $12,000. Our suggestion to people is go out and take advantage of any of these airdrops that you wish to. Freezing, free stock, where places are that you can get better APR if you're staking your token. Now, anyone who's watching this, we are going to be we have a plan for a strategic alliance with a group called Ulity. And in the Prosperity Program, actually, I'm going to share this right now so that it's right in the regular profile, so anyone can find it easily. You scan this, they will give you 1,000 free Unity tokens if you use the Spade's invitation code. So you normally have to pay the $25 to get this kind of information, but we put it into the regular social feed. So right now, anyone who wants, getting a account on the Spades platform is completely free. Go to spades.community, hit join login, and it is absolutely free to get your account with us. So
Now, are these airdrops vetted? I mean, lots of times people hear about airdrops that sometimes, as we all know, just come right into our wallet without us even knowing them. And there's a good possibility that by clicking on that, your wallet opens, you don't know what you're doing, you sign, you approve, and all of a sudden you've got no crypto.
Well, we do the best that we can. We've got a few people who go through each airdrop. They're collecting everything. And if they have a issue or they see there's a problem, then they report that back, and then we delete that airdrop from the group. I'll tell you, most of the airdrops these days, it's a matter of join their Telegram group, join their Reddit group, join whichever group it is that they're promoting their token or their wallet to, and it's minimal risk. But if we find that there's an issue with something, then we delete it and we make a note and put it inside the profile and inside the prosperity program, because that's one of the other things we do in the prosperity program is we look for any of the scams that are out there. The last big one was the fake Elon Musk site where people are going to get free Bitcoin and they lost it. So we also try to protect people from losing their cryptocurrency, as well as telling them where to get free cryptocurrency.
All right, thank you. Christopher, your mic's off.
I suppose you could actually set up a second wallet and put all this in a second wallet. So what the heck, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And so you're protected in that regard. Your funding that you're most concerned about is in one, and the airdrops are in another. So
in a cold wallet, you mean?
Well, you used a different email address and just set up a different wallet, like a MetaMask, but you're talking about a Tron wallet. Does Tron work the same way? It works through an email address?
No, it uses a wallet address. And then, of course,
when you sign up, though.
Well, it all depends, of course, what wallet, whether it's MetaMask or it's Tron Link. I like Tron Link simply because I can put it on my browser and I don't have to use my phone all the time.
Yeah.
And I like Tron for a lot of different reasons, because it's got so much open source development and you can attach your wallet to so many different things. And the swapping pools are really nice on SunSwap.
And the transaction fees are a lot less than Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
Way less.
We're hurting every day and be social from the GUI. So
with Tron, if you essentially stake it, they call it freezing, right? If you freeze your Tron, you earn energy and bandwidth, so that your transactions can be free. It just depends on how many you're doing. But what we do is we stake a certain amount of, or freeze it as they call it, right? Every protocol has their own nomenclature, but you freeze it and then we earn energy and we earn bandwidth, so that when we do a transaction, it decreases our energy and our bandwidth. But as long as we don't unfreeze our Tron, we just hold it there, then we earn more energy and bandwidth every day. And this decreases the cost significantly. So if you're not doing many transactions across the Tron network, then you can basically do your transactions for zero cost.
Now,
that's one of the reasons actually we decided to go with Tron based instead of Ethereum based, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, you did. You were smart to do that, no doubt about it. But of course, there are other advantages to ETH as well. But still, it's it's rather difficult sometimes. But here's the question I'd like to ask, and I think Rick would agree with me here. I think we actually need to come on and do an entire special program about the airdrops and the various wallets and things like that. Would you be willing to come on and just do a show just about that?
Sure, but I'm probably going to need to get our specialist. I'm not the one who sits there and goes through all the airdrops, quite frankly.
You'll just have to have 3 people on, Kira and Stephen and your special guest.
I'm not the pro on airdrops either, so you have to probably have the other person.
Well, anyway, I'm just asking, would you be willing to do that?
I'd be willing. Sure, I'd be willing to do that. Really where I spend most of my time is working with our charitable partners and
Sure.
the groups is where most of my time goes. I designed this system. I actually designed it many years ago. And we talked about previously, we had the free digital universe concept that was pre-cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole
actually, he designed it, 15 years ago, Stephen? Something like that?
A little over 15 years ago.
I remember, yeah.
And actually, I think what's kind of fun, and I think this group would like this, is part of that ecosystem was epaycafe.com. We're going to rebuild it. We still own, after I bought it 18 years ago, we still own epaycafe.com, and that was built as the very first DeFi exchange. It's just that what was being exchanged was virtual game currencies, like Entropia and Second Life and Club Penguin.
Yeah.
And, what was available back in 2006, 2007, because that's what we saw. The information age is going to be community currencies.
Yeah, our son was really into Club Penguin, right?
Oh, gosh.
That was a big deal. That was the beginning, right?
The only thing I remember is Pong, so let it go at that, right?
That's the first video game we ever had. I think that was 45 years ago.
That's right. Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow, right?
Or something.
The first Pong, you didn't even need a video screen. You hooked it up to your TV.
That's what I did.
This plastic screen on your TV with a divider, and you would play your Pong.
Yep. Yep. No, look, this has all been in the works. This is why we say it's a different type of crypto, because this was not designed so that it's an asset that you go and you invest in it per se, and you expect it to shoot up, or the hedge funds come along and things of that nature. This crypto was designed to support the economic model, which, based on the white paper I read for the M2, I think it has a lot in common, right? Because it's meant to be a type of mechanism that allows people to do commerce and supports people in the developing world and provides just a common commercial type of currency. And I'm really looking forward to when M2 hits that mark where people in the developing world can mine M2, because, see, I think that's the one big difference that we have, is that our focus is on giving people a way to earn, right? Whether they're going to do programming, or maybe they take photos, or they're in, like, we have a big group in Nepal way up there, and I've asked them, hey, does your phone work there? And are you near some of the Buddhist monasteries? They said, yeah. I said, okay, fantastic. Would you be willing to maybe offer as a product, virtual tourism? Because I don't want to fly to Nepal, but I'd really like to, have a few minutes with some of the Buddhist monks and to see these 1,000-year-old monasteries up in that area of the world. To me, that's just fascinating, right? And it doesn't matter where you are. The people in Africa, how about, can you take us on a safari for a few hours?
You're talking about like in FaceTime or something like that. You're talking about.
Exactly. It can be FaceTime. Okay. There's so many right. You just got it. You put up your event on our site. You sell it.
It can even be YouTube.
Go ahead, Karen.
I said it can even be YouTube live.
That's a fascinating idea. Now, with all these ideas, I regret to say that we've come to the end of this particular episode of the Swarm Unplugged. We could talk. I think we could keep going another 2 hours easily, without a doubt. Right, Rick?
Yeah.
Uh,
Really appreciate your having us on again. Thank you so much.
This is, it's always informative, and you have refined it without a doubt, down into, you've digested it into a more edible version, if you will. Okay. Rick, do you have any final questions before we wrap up this episode?
Well, not necessarily a question, but a thought process. How you and your teams are thinking about integrating this into what we now are learning a lot about, which is Web 3.0. So that might be, an entire new subject of what is it within, the Web 3 that, you guys need to do, to get into that space. And
Yeah.
certainly not enough time here today. But if you're not familiar with, what's going on and the variety of I guess, options you might have, we're running a Twitter space. I don't know if you had an opportunity to get in there, but it's
Yeah.
a 15-day, 24/7. The team is doing a fantastic job. I don't know how they keep up with it. But you might want to jump in and take a look at, listen to some of the stuff that's going on, and it's absolutely unique and interesting how so many people get together with so many different ideas of how Web3 can change what they're doing in today's world.
Well,
Yeah. I tell you, man, it gives me information overload.
Mhm.
Well, Kara,
Yeah.
since Stephen has been the spokesperson, I want to let you kind of roll us out of this episode by just asking this question. What would you like to say to the audience, about, I always say from the heart, about what's going on in the world and what they need to do in order to benefit the world as best as they can?
Oh, using the system or just in general?
And both, please.
Okay. The world is always turning, and there we are. I'm actually reading this book, Wheel of Time, if anybody's read Robert Jordan's series. And the wheel turns as the wheel wills is an expression that's used in the book. And it's kind of that way in our world, that the wheels keep turning of our world, but we do have to help steer it. And I think that's part of what we're trying to do here with Spades, is to help steer it in a positive direction, that there is a feeling that people can take their future in their own hands by having the ability to create their own wealth, to create community, to come together in a positive spirit, and to reach out across boundaries and lines and divisions, and to be able to create a common good for everyone. And that's really part of the reason why Spades has been created, is to create that commonality for a positive outcome for our world, for our future. How's
Very,
that?
very, very well said. Absolutely, very well said. Stephen, Kara, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us more deeply into the Spades community that you are developing so well and building such a solid foundation under. I'm thrilled to have you on, and this won't be the last time. Now that we talk, but that you're on our program to find out more about what's happening with the Spades community. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Rickster, I tell you what, what great things people are doing for the world itself. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely amazing. It's just we're just on the tip of the iceberg, to use a cliche term, and deep down that iceberg is deep and wide, and we are going to have some dramatic changes in the world over the next 5 to 10 years. Just a different world that we live in.
Oh, absolutely. And my thanks to you for co-hosting today. As always, our co-host and tech director, Mr. Rick Scherer. Thank you, Rick.
So glad to be here. See you next week.
All right, my friend. You know, there's you make yourself smarter by being around smarter people. And that's what happened with me today. And I hope that's what happened with you as well by being a part of this episode of the Swarm Unplugged. Before we close, always remember to listen, learn, and give. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Swarm Unplugged podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button and leave us a glowing comment. Gravitate yourself to be on the podcast so you are the next one to introduce themselves to the Be Social community. See you on the next episode.